How's it going, guys? This would be my review on Grand Theft Auto 4. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the first thing you see. The graphics. Look at these graphics. Holy crap. These graphics are more breathtaking than Niagara Falls. And trust me, I've been there. I know that's not much of a comparison. Niagara Falls ain't all that special as everyone makes it out to be. Fine, you know what, the Grand Canyon is as breathtaking as the Grand fucking Canyon. How about that? Secondly, I want to talk about realism. This game, believe it or not, for a Grand Theft Auto game, is one of the most realistic games I ever played in my life. And I love realistic games. And this game is just like so realistic, it's unbelievable. Which, if that makes sense, being how we all live in reality every day, but this game is extremely realistic. So between the graphics and the realism, it's just amazing. But although the realism is very, very nice, the realism sometimes gets in the way. A lot of video games out there aren't as realistic as this one, so you'll find yourself a lot of time getting frustrated because of how realistic it is. Driving cars very fast and going around turns isn't as easy as it used to be in other Grand Theft Auto games. The weight of the car, you could feel it shift. It feels like, I can't say it feels like you're actually driving, but it definitely gives you a good feeling of realism as you're driving a vehicle around. So you probably find yourself sliding around a lot. It's not you, it's not the car themselves specifically, it's the realism. Face it, when you're driving that fast and you're going around turns, you'll be sliding around and crashing into shit. As you see, I'm in the middle of a mission here. This is pretty far in the game. This isn't much of a spoiler, so I'm not worried about it. You know how I am, I don't want to spoil anything for you. The weapons in this game, sadly, there aren't very many of them. As you see, the aiming system is kind of like the Godfather series. In Godfather, you're able to target someone and then target a limb. See, I shot him in the leg and he fell off a cliff. As you saw, the gun looks pretty realistic, and the sound effects are pretty real too. I don't know how many of you are gun enthusiasts and actually know how well guns may sound or whatever when they're going off in reality, but this game is pretty realistic. Like I said, realism is like the top thing with this game. As far as realism goes for the firearms, it's pretty much up there with the Call of Duty series. Not to bring up Call of Duty, you know, because everyone like wants to marry that game, but and it's extremely overrated, which is what I mean by that. But it is a very realistic game as far as weapons go. Speaking of weapons, right here is a Mossberg, I believe. This is a 12 gauge shotgun. It's semi-automatic, and the sound is very realistic and crisp. This here is what everyone calls a micro Uzi, but it's not really called that. I forgot the actual name of it because so many people call it a micro Uzi, and I'm not a big fan of the gun, so I don't really know too much of it, believe it or not. But I do know that does sound very realistic. And here is my favorite assault rifle of all time, the AK-47, which is one of the most popular guns of all time, and it sounds just the way it should. I have an RPG-7 Russian rocket launcher, which I'm not going to fire off because you will get a star. Grenades, hand-to-hand combat, I have a combat knife. Again, like I said, although the weapons are very realistic, there are not that very many of them. Get the fuck out of here. Also, another thing that this game lacks is customization. Unlike San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, you know, for those who may not know what I'm talking about. San Andreas, and even Saints Row 2, which I recently just did 2 reviews on, a positive and a negative one, where this is more of a mixture between positive and negative. But anyway, the point is, in San Andreas and Saints Row 2, those games were very customizable. You're able to buy a lot of clothes, get a large variety of clothes, a large variety of homes, and you're able to customize vehicles of all different kinds. And this one, no customizing vehicles as far as I know. The clothes, not many at all. And I think the reason why they did that with this game is because the main character you're playing as has a unique personality. I don't want to get too far into depth about the main character, but basically he's not into tattoos and looking like a thug. He's more ex-military, so everything is just kind of like straightforward to the point with this guy. Sounds very bland, but actually he's a really good character. What else is there to talk about? Oh, the police. You know, I like to talk a lot about the law enforcement and stuff like that in games like this, these sandbox games. The police in this game are really, really tough. And the laws, though, are very, very realistic, too. You do get in trouble for reasonable things and such like that, but there's a police officer right now, actually. Anyways, yeah, the police are very tough in this game, so, and it's equally as tough to get the police off of you in this game. Unlike other games such as like Grand Theft Auto and Saints Row, your notoriety for the police doesn't just go away if you hide long enough. And this one is more like the Scarface video game, where you have a certain area or vicinity that you need to get out of, and it shows you on your little map on the left on your hub what dimensions you have to be to get out of that vicinity or whatever, to escape this certain amount of notoriety that you have. So you need to, like in layman's terms, you just need to be far away from the notoriety or the police just to lose notoriety, which I find to be very difficult, but very realistic. That's a big ass dude. Look, big old dude too. You know, you get like girlfriends and stuff, not a big deal, just part of, you know, being able to do stuff on the side or whatever. Some of them do grant you special things, like you can keep your guns after you get arrested, or keep your weapons after, like, going to prison. Oh my gosh, a Chrysler? Sweet Jesus. But there's not a whole lot to say about spoiling it. I will say I haven't beaten the game, but I am very, very far in the game. And I got a star on me, so you guys will be able to witness a little bit of a chase before the end of this review. Oh, no, I'm pretty much out of reach already. That's about it. I mean, the game is very long, actually, and it's very realistic and very difficult, but, you know, because of those things, you'll probably find yourself coming back and playing this game a little more often than it sounds like you would be. So, like Saints Row 2 and other games that I've compared to, the replay value is pretty high. So, overall, it is a very good game. Not a ton more you could do as far as customization, so if you're into like customizing a lot, this might not be for you. But if you're into realism and you love Grand Theft Auto sandbox type of games, this is definitely one for you. That might make up for it. So there you have it, man. That's my my review on Grand Theft Auto 4. I ran that bitch over and the cop didn't do shit. Stupid